What's the fastest way you've seen someone ruin their life? Story 1. A drunk friend climbed into bed with his mother-in-law because he thought she was into him. She wasn't. It ended badly. Story 2. My friend once told me he wanted to hook up with his cousin and a bunch of other stuff about her. Her dad was standing right behind him, hearing every word. Story 3. A friend and I were at a party. 2 girls took us to a back room to fool around. My buddy was massaging one girl while she lay face down on a pile of pillows. Her skirt rode up. She pulled her underwear aside and said, "Do it." My friend was a virgin, couldn't believe his luck. He pulled out and went for it. It was over almost instantly. That's how he became a dad at 17. He loves his kid, but that moment wrecked his education, job prospects, and caused massive family drama that still lingers. Story 4. A guy I knew was an MMA fighter. He'd won regional amateur fights. His gym was hyping him up, and he was in talks with a promotion. One day, a dude trash talks him. He snaps back. The guy swings. He counters with a punch. The guy hits the pavement, cracks his head, and dies. 5 years for manslaughter. Story 5. A friend dropped out of a top university with a full-ride scholarship. His family could never have afforded it otherwise, after 3 years, because of World of Warcraft addiction. Story 6. A guy I knew was spinning a gun on his finger at a party, trying to look cool. He shot himself dead in front of everyone. It's a miracle no one else got hurt. A lot of people who weren't there think it was intentional. It wasn't. He was 20. Story 7. I had a friend years ago, always a bit weird but good-hearted. One day, hanging out with him and others, he said he was getting a tattoo tomorrow with a genius idea but wouldn't tell us what. Wanted it to be a surprise. We saw him a week later. He tattooed 3/4 of his face solid dark forest green. No design, just green. Left the top right quarter normal. He got fired the next day. Lost touch soon after. He moved cities. Heard he ended up living in his car. No idea why he did it. He had a solid IT job at a big company, making decent money. Why he thought permanently turning 75% of his face green was super cool is beyond me. Story 8. About 50 years ago, when my great-uncle was in his early 20s, he drove home blackout drunk, hit and killed 2 college students, and didn't even realize it. After his initial prison time, he couldn't function as a free citizen, so he kept getting sent back. For example, he got out about a year ago and couldn't pay his first month's rent. His solution: walk to the corner store, steal a beer, sit on the curb, and wait for cops. Story 9. I had a friend who loved doing motorcycle stunts. No helmet, no gear. One day, cops pulled him over, impounded the bike. Colombians will get it. His mom said she'd pay the fine if he finished school. He had 1 year left. I met him then. A few months later, he was 1 month from graduating. We all rallied to help him finish. For his good grades, his mom paid the fine and got the bike out. That same day, he went out with friends doing stunts again. Bad luck this time. He crashed, brain dead. I found out Monday when I went to his house asking why he missed class. Lesson: drive responsibly. 1 second, 1 mistake, your whole life can be over. Story 10. A friend of head first off a frat house balcony into a parking lot while drunk. Now he's got half a brain and is wheelchair bound. Story 11. A friend had a university spot. He just had to click accept. He clicked reject by mistake. Still blames himself. Story 12. I met an Irish guy in the U.S. who punched another Irish guy on a night out. The guy hit the pavement, cracked his head, and died. The puncher's now in prison. Story 13. I watched a coworker lose 2 houses and $500,000 to gambling addiction in 1 year. Story 14. My friend decided not to use protection with a girl he just met for an entire weekend without asking if she was on birth control. And finished inside, I feel terrible for the poor baby dragged into the world by pure stupidity. Story 15. One of my friends went from moderately functional to losing custody of his daughter and bouncing in and out of rehab in 6 months. 2 years later, there's a wanted poster with his face in Tennessee. Story 16. Living in Vegas, I saw people walk in, bet everything on black, and lose. Then the look of disbelief when they realize their mortgage is gone, and they have to explain it to whoever's waiting at home. Story 17. A guy I went to school with was in Australia. Stayed in a hotel with his girlfriend, went to a bachelor party, came back hammered. Climbed down a fire escape, started messing with a fire hydrant, flooded the entire hotel floor. Had to be evacuated. Cost over $500,000. Australian media made an example of him. Case was everywhere. Fined another $10,000. A few days after the case ended, he was found dead, apparent suicide. Story 18. A college friend tended to act before thinking, but usually fun and well-meaning. After I graduated, he apparently got pressured by a girl he was trying to sleep with to try a drug just once. He said no at first, then gave in. Overdosed and died. One bad decision, life over. Story 19. Some kids from school went to a cabin over winter break. One girl was on the balcony. Her boyfriend thought it'd be funny to scare her. He charged the railing. She fell from the 3rd floor, hit her spine on a huge rock below. Paralyzed from the neck down. She was a gymnast. Story 20. Early 90s, my friend was a theater kid. Same college as me. Started hanging with a bad crowd, ghosted his old friends. Especially when we tried telling him he was losing himself. Moved to another city for the new crew. Growing up, he was the soberest in our group. Never drank, let alone drugs. 6 months later, overdose. Dead. Story 21. Former neighbor, deeply closeted gay guy. Found out when I ran into him at a club 4 years ago, total shock. He'd get blackout drunk, wake up in strangers' beds. No memory of the night. Predictably, tested positive for advanced HIV at just 23. Parents still don't know he's gay, let alone that he's living with HIV. Story 22. Knew a guy, tight end in high school and college, pro level stats, size, speed. Got an NFL tryout. Flew to the city, went out, got wasted. Overslept the tryout. Showed up half a day late. They wouldn't let him in. Flew home. Now he does mortgages like the rest of us. Story 23. Guy I knew in high school dropped out around year 11. Seemed decent. No red flags. Decided to rob a gas station with a fake gun. A customer shot him in the back with a real one. Bullet hit his shoulder blade, ricocheted into his skull. They pulled the plug a few days later. Story 24. You've probably heard of the guy who sold everything to gamble in a casino and double his money. It was all over the news. Yeah, a guy I know did the exact same thing. Lost every penny. Fell into deep depression after.